me tell you how it will be.
Welcome back to The Price of Business. You know that song. He's here in the studios. Taxman Bob Loeser. Love spending time with him. We do it here on The Price of Business. Talk about what's happening on the business front. He's got great political punditry as well. And, of course, what's happening in people when it comes to their taxes. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. We were a little bit worried about you this morning because you were running a few minutes late. We thought the Taliban may have gotten you and that the president was negotiating a 12-for-1 trade with a couple draft choices thrown in.
Yeah, well, I think I'm more valuable than this guy who left his gun and his helmet to go take a walk in the middle of Afghanistan. So I think I deserve 12-to-1.
I think he was looking for a Starbucks.
There you go. Yeah, and let's talk just for a moment about that. You know, in fact, my producer, Sigmund Kramer, he's been pounding the Facebook page with articles about this subject. You know, and you look at this guy, you know, and now we see that Republicans wish he hadn't been brought back. And you see that even Democrats are going, what the heck? You know, Feinstein's like using tones of impeachment, you know, when she talks about the situation. Now you're getting the impression that maybe even the sergeant didn't want to be brought back. You know, it's like he wanted to go. He didn't want to, you know, he wanted to be kumbaya with these guys.
And then Dad is in the White House garden with Salam Aleichem. I mean, please.
Yeah.
You know, why don't you bite the hand that feeds your son back to the States? Thank you.
You know it's a bad sign when even the military don't want him back.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and who are these people not to have conversations with other people in his unit before they expend this energy? They can't find a single person. And now a couple of people are saying, what are you talking about? This guy's treasonous. We need to be bringing him back to send him to prison.
And then one of the press secretaries yesterday afternoon says, well, the soldiers that fought with him don't know what's going on. Hello, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no question about it. So anyway, I'm sure you didn't plan on talking about that. I haven't talked about it very much, but I'm telling you, man, this is the kind of stuff where you talk about tone deaf. Mm-hmm. I mean, this administration is completely tone deaf. You talk about, you know, prisoner exchange. That's what right. is being described. Typically, I know Israel's a little different, but typically countries don't do prison exchanges until a war's over.
Correct.
Is the war on terror now over?
No.
I mean, I don't understand this still.
And these five are going to bite us in the butt, so to speak. I mean, interestingly enough, and I've got a theory on that, they should have let the five go. They should have let 500 go. They should have inoculated each one of them with the herpes virus. And send them back home. They can meet those 100 angels at the gates of hell.
Absolutely.
Or versa versa.
Absolutely. And you know, while they were at it, they could have put the GPS in their derrieres.
Correct. With the self-destruct button on it.
That's right. Oh yeah, now you're talking. Well, you know, I think we found our new CIA director right here in the Price of Business show.
I don't want to be the VA director, trust me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could do that job. I actually kind of feel sorry for the general because, you know, obviously he didn't respond with the kind of passion you would expect someone to respond to, but this isn't his fault. It's a systemic problem, and to me it's kind of a harbinger of things to come when government handles your health care. Thank God we don't have you wonder what a single-payer system would have been? The hard left wanted a single-payer system. This is what a single-payer system looks like. You conserve money by letting people die. That's how you do it.
And as of this morning, I think they were trying to lead the director of the Cleveland Clinic as the new VA head.
Yeah.
If I was leading the Cleveland Clinic, I'd say thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. This is a really stable work environment, and we have a really good track record. I'm not sure. Why would we want to do that? It's almost like going from, you know, a major league team to a 1A Division 1A team.
Every time there's something stirred on the Western Front for the dear president, something else pops up to deflect our attention.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What was that Benghazi deal again?
Ah, that's a good point. How many things are out there that are getting attention because of his ludicrous policies in general? Right. Fast and Furious, remember that? You know, that alone being very impeachable. Yep. What should people be, you know, let's roll it now to what you do.
Do we have to talk about taxes again, man?
Taxes again. What do you know, what's going on that front?
Well, we're past all the big deadlines. The last one was 15 days ago or so was the franchise deadline, which if you're extended, you've got the extension until November 15th. Again, if sales are under roughly 1,100,000, you still have to report, but there is no tax due. If it is over that amount, then it's a calculation based upon 2.5% or 1%, or it depends upon what type of industry that you're in. But if you do have the extension, it doesn't mean that the tax is extended too. And if you don't pay it, you're going to be assessed, 0.5% a month penalty, 0.5% a month interest in particular. Also, if the tax due now is over $10,000, the state is requiring you to pay electronically, like you do with your EFTPS payroll tax payments. So that's an issue. Personal tax returns, corporate returns are on extension. Corporates are due September 15th. Federal personal are due October 15th. Again, if taxes due, you're just letting the meter run with interest and penalties charged. Mm-hmm. A lot of my clients are starting to think about, and we'll get to the end of June, and start thinking about 2014 and the planning ahead based upon, there hasn't been really any changes to the tax law, but at the same time, some credits have not been extended. Other factors that we know what the tax rates are now, so implying that we know that, we can work around, unless there's changes or surprises, we can work around what's been given to us.
Very, very interesting. And so here we are halfway through the year. It's hard to believe. So,
within, 20 days or so, we'll be there. And a lot of businesses seem to be holding their own. For some, income may be down 5-7%. For others, they're holding their own or increased by 3 to 5%, which, again, they remain quiet and confident, which is good. Don't go out and spend a lot. Don't go out and buy a new warehouse. Don't go out and purchase $250,000 worth of equipment until you sort of pass that point of knowing, hey, it's already in the bank. We've already done it. Everything's going well.
Yeah, and people, we live here in a great city like Houston and very robust. But let me tell you, a lot of the rest of the country is still suffering. There are more people out of work now than in any time since the Great Depression. That hasn't changed.
Right. We don't know what we have here. When I talk to friends, I'm going to a 40th reunion next month back in Williamsville, New York, which is outside of Buffalo. And I've got friends that they don't tell me horror stories, but they really have had to roll up their sleeves to get where they've needed to go the last 3 to 5 years. And we're fortunate here that I'm not saying it's given to us. Everybody here in this town works hard, but you're rewarded for that hard work.
Right. A lot of the rest of the country is working 3 times as much for 1/3 of what they used to get. And here we're only working twice as much for half as much. That's so right. We're doing way better here.
That's right. And we have no state taxes.
Oh, boy. It's awesome. All right. You can see why we have him on and why I always look forward to it. Bob Loeser, Taxman Bob. What's that number?
It's 713-953-1272. 713-953-1272. And a last note, I think we want to congratulate Dan Patrick for his landslide.
Was it ever? I'm not sure what the final tally was, but it was impressive. It was
4,234 to 1. Only kidding, David.
Oh, boy. Taxman Bob at pdq.net. You can reach him there, too. I'm Kevin Price. This interview and much more is at usdailyreview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.
'Cause I'm